This video picks up where the last one left off of a walkthrough of the Chapter 5 program. The first couple steps are to add some images and change the launcher icon. We've done that before. And then it says to modify this line related to the layout orientation. So we're going to look at the main XML file and look for that line. Again, I've just gone through the book and identified the key steps in the tutorial, and there's nothing in here about that orientation property. So let's just keep that in mind and move on. We're going to add some elements to our form through the XML window. All right, you can do this just as easily as through the graphical layout tab. And you see that it's the same result. So you could set the properties and do everything graphically, or you could do it through the XML tab. So we're doing it through the XML tab. Notice we get a bunch of warnings. We can check them out. Things related to what we just added, but we added what it asks us to add, so let's not worry about that. Now it says it wants us to change the app name value. So we're going to go into strings XML. I've done this before as well. But I want to point something out to you here. You cannot paste in this value. I've copied, but when you try to paste, even though you're in this view, it's pasting to the text in the XML. And it can really mess up your project. So don't try to paste. If you do paste, go into the XML view and change it. Come back out and just type into the value box here, and you won't have that problem. And now it wants us to change our list adapter. This is a very powerful line of code that it's good to understand what it does. So make sure you read the book a couple times if you need to, play around with it, and make sure you're selecting just the right thing. The way it carries over another line makes it a little bit tricky. But if you do the right thing, you won't get any squiggly lines or any problems. Remember to save all frequently and run it. And when I run this, I see there is a problem with my layout. I got some overlap here. It doesn't look right. So let's go back and think about that step that we didn't do before. And that step has something to do with the layout. And notice here it says relative layout. In the book example, if you look at the picture of the XML, it said that it was a different layout. So maybe if we change our layout from relative to match what it was in the book, we'll see that line that they're talking about. Right-click on the form, go to change layout, and let's go to a linear layout, which is what it showed in the book. Say OK. Now it's not overlapped on this part, and I see my little San Francisco City guide up at the top. So that should be better. And now in the XML, I do see that Android orientation vertical line. All right, and that's what it had said to delete. Delete the Android orientation property without deleting that closing bracket or brace. Alright, so we'll do that, keep it nice and readable, no squigglies, make sure to save all frequently, run this again, and now I don't have the overlap, which is nice, but it does say main up at top, and I was expecting it to say San Francisco City Guide, right? So let's take another look at where we set that. It was in the strings XML, and we set the app name property, but that was more like the activity title. So, and I did say main, so let's try changing it here.